All right, fix your drink. Okay. Some of you saying, what in the world is this all about? Well, I'm going to help you understand what's going on here. And the story starts really around the packaging, because this is how we found out about this particular product. And I'll come back to that in a second. But I want to tell you that the element that's inside this dietary supplement, it's a single element, is extracted out of the hops plant. And this was discovered about 70 years ago, back in the early 50s, when they tried to pull this element out. And once they finally figured out how to do that, they patented it on how it came out. But it cost $1 million a gallon. And when they started running the testing on it, they found out it did some real crazy things to the fat that you don't like, that you'd love to see gone when you get up out of the shower and you're going like, man, I need to get rid of some of this stuff. Yep. Well, they found out it burned it off, but it cost too much, and so they abandoned the project. Well, back to this little packaging. This little packaging is, it's called a Easy Snap. We just call it a snap for short. Think of it as a ketchup pack that's got a liquid in it, and you bend it in half and everything squirts out, comparing to try to tear the end of it off. And this Easy Snap packaging is done with some very specific machines. And my good friend Randy Tyner is the one that brought these in out of Italy to the United States. Actually was the one that everybody had to license through to get them. There's very few of these machines that exist. I believe he has about 5 of these machines in production, and he produces stuff for a lot of different kinds of companies. And how we got the connection with this particular product was because he does some work for a pharmaceutical company. And they got several labs, and they build all kinds of pharmaceutical drugs. And they got tasked with building a drug about 10 years ago that was about how you could burn fat off. And they knew about this 1950s thing that took place. And so the formulator, he got some engineers together and some scientists and some doctors, and they went after, okay, how could we extract this where it doesn't cost $1 million? Because if we could ever figure this out, we would have the holy grail of weight loss, because of what the clinical studies showed back in the 50s it did. Well, what took place is it was almost miraculous how it happened. I won't get into that. They ended up figuring out how to extract it. They, after a lot of time and money spent, and they thought it couldn't happen, but they did figure it out, a different way to pull this element out. And all of a sudden they had to patent the machine, because there's only one machine in the world that does this. They had to build the machine, and then they patented the extraction process. And they started testing this. And as they started testing this, they found out very quickly that when you added this into water, it didn't have any taste or any liquid. All of a sudden, what happened is you started dropping weight. All right. And the weight was really not, the weight was fat. It wasn't muscle. It was eating it up. And as they studied it more, they found out that when you put it in an adult beverage, even something crazier happened. And that was that it worked better, which sounds completely crazy. And so now we have the exclusive rights to bring this into the marketplace. And there's 2 things that I want you to think about, because this is a complete disruptive kind of product that we're going to bring in the marketplace, that comes in this space where, you know, diets happen, let's say. What if that word diet, well, just what if you never had to use the word diet again? And that was just a foregone conclusion that didn't work. Because here's how diets work. We all know how they work, but I'm just going to make sure we all remember. A diet works where you eat things you really don't want to be eating. All right. You're watching calories. You know, there's a million different kinds of diets that we've all heard about, and people try them and they work, some of them, and they take off, you know, this unwanted fat that's on your body that you look at when you get out of the shower in the mirror. And all of a sudden, when the diet's done, guess what happens? Yeah, you guessed it, comes right back. Okay. Very few people can ever maintain something. Well, what this concept is a snap a day, all right, keeps the fat away. Yeah. How crazy is that? This is something you could maintain. I personally have experienced what this has happened to me. About 2 weeks ago, I got to meet the formulator. And now what's more important than the weight that's down, I'm down about, I don't know, 7 or 8 pounds. but my belt is now looser. I gotta get another notch in my belt, or a new belt or something, because what's taking place is I can tell that that it's going away, and it's like it just is burning it off. And so I'm going to explain the best I can on how this works, but just imagine the concept of number one, where this is the unicorn, is what if the word diet was gone and it was a snap a day, or I do a snap in the morning in my coffee and a snap in whatever drink I'm having later in the day, whether that's an adult beverage or just a glass of water, it doesn't matter. All right. Because they found out that this works for up to 9 hours, according to the scientists. So what that means is I take one of these snaps, I snap that in my drink, and now what takes place is I turn a light switch on. If I want to keep the light on, then all I do is do another snap. And it continues to create a thermogenic response, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But the paradigm shift also comes into play when you say it works better in an adult beverage. You're saying, what? You mean the wine that I like, I could continue to drink? Because see, here's the thing. People think that the alcohol is what's making people fat. Actually, that's not the case. We'll talk about what that is here in just a second. But I need you to just understand and pause on this to think about something, because this is really about an opportunity for you to be in front of something that many people are going to want to do or buy. All right. This isn't about you being overweight and you need to do it, which, you know, maybe that's the case. I have no idea. What this is about is an opportunity to be in front of a paradigm shift that's going to change the way we think about fat loss. That's crazy. That's really crazy. And the two components of that are, number one, this is a snap a day. This is something you could maintain from being 8 years old to 80 years old. It ain't about getting up early in the morning. And I'm not saying don't go work out, because the studies show that it's better if you go work out because it works quicker. But many people don't want to do that and take the time to do it. So there is a jolt that is coming. And we launched the pre-launch order of this product on Saturday, about a week ago. So you're not hearing about this way down the road. You're hearing about it where a few thousand people know about it. And I know you got questions, and I'm going to try to do my best to answer a few. Yes, it's 100% natural. This is plant-based. It is an element in the hops plant. And you say, well, can I just eat the hops plant and get the same thing? You could, but you have to eat a lot of it. Let me give you an idea what the scientists figured out. They figured out if you want to get enough of this to do what it does, this thermogenic response, you'd have to drink 63 tall boys in one setting. Now, I know some of you might be able to drink beer, but I don't think you can do 63 tall boys in one setting to get the right amount. You're going to be sleeping long before you ever get to number 25, probably. All right. It's 100% natural. It's gluten-free, vegan-free, no side effects. And I already mentioned about the patents that are on it. But it works with any kind of drink. So this is not about promoting drinking alcohol. That's not what this is at all, because it works in any drink. I put it in my coffee first thing in the morning. But where it does work with alcoholic beverages, it creates an interesting scenario, because when you drink alcohol, the body processes the alcohol first. And according to the scientists, they said it's 63 minutes per drink. So if you drink 3 beers, multiply 63 times 3. And what it's doing is it's storing all the food you're eating with your beverage as fat. So that pizza, guess where it's going? It's all stored as fat. All right. Guess what the steak that you're eating and, you know, the asparagus and whatever you're having for a nice dinner, it's stored as fat, because the body is processing the alcohol first. And what this element does when it's dropped into the adult beverage, it now allows the body. All right. They got a scientific word for it. And look, I'm from the country. I'm not good on big words or anything like that. So I'm not even going to try to say the darn words. If Terry, who introduced me, he got all that stuff down. He knows all that. I'm not even going to attempt it. What I do know is it causes a thermogenic response. And now it processes both the food and the alcohol at the same time. And so here's just a little graphic picture. You know, the number 2 there in the middle, that's what we don't want to look like because of the high intake of fat. But probably what's causing a big part of that is we're drinking an adult beverage while we're eating food. And this thermogenic response, what this really is, and what the scientists said that they've never found anything else that does this, is it's similar to doing an ice plunge or an ice bath, which is a very popular thing now. You go down to any kind of spa And they're going to try to talk you into getting in an ice bath. It's like I said earlier, getting rid of fat is hard. All right. This concept of what we're talking about here. All right. It's smarter, not harder. An ice plunge. I don't know of anybody that likes to get in an ice bath and just sit there. All right. I suppose there's some weirdo that does, but there's very few, let's just say, that do that. And what happens, you start to shiver, and the brown adipose fat, it starts to make you shiver, and it causes you to start burning energy, which it burns the different kinds of fat that you got, the stuff you don't want. And it does it for a long time. And so this does the same kind of thing with no shivers. How cool is that? Drop it in your drink, and now you got up to 9 hours in some studies that showed that this thermogenic response continues. And if you want to keep the light on like they do at Motel 6, take another one. All right. Taking 10 or 12 does not do any more for you. It's just when the time runs out, it's like, let's keep the timer going, and the fat burning is achieved. And so this is a revolutionary, disruptive idea in the marketplace on fat burning. And it's just one snap. All the studies they did was just basically one snap. If you want to keep the light on longer, you can do it. There's no harm in doing that. But just one snap, and yeah, it works in coffee. Doesn't change anything. It's completely tasteless. It's odorless. All right. Does it work in orange juice? Well, it sure does. Does it work in your iced tea at lunch? Sure. If you want to put it in at lunchtime, if you want to put it in your soda, there you go. Have at it. You know, your glass of water. And then this is where the game changes, is all of a sudden now what it does is it goes in an adult beverage. Now, I want you to think about something. We're watching some viral stuff happen. It's because the two components that I'm sharing with you, a snap a day keeps the fat away. All right. That right there is a game changer. That's a fruit basket upset for this space of losing fat. All right. And the second thing is this right here. And this is what some viral nature causes. Because imagine when you go into a bar and you take out one of these little snaps and you snap it in your $50 glass of wine that you just got. And everybody goes, why would they that's a nice bottle of wine. Why would they put that in there? Pretty soon they got to come over and see you. See, when Jim and I went to go meet the formulator, he said, let's go out to a bar and watch what happens. Yeah, we did it. And the crowd gathered. People got questions. We had answers, and they wanted what we had. Pretty easy to do. And if something like this was posted on social media, I guarantee you it would get some kind of response. A transformation in a snap. Are you kidding me? A snap a day keeps the fat away. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Again and again and again. Pretty soon they're going to go, how do I get some of that? It's not even in the market yet. You're watching something where you could order it and have it shipped the first part of July before anybody gets it. But let me tell you what our big advantage is. And I just talked about this early on. And that was we're controlling the sales process, the consumption process from the beginning to the end. Meaning we're going to bring the manufacturing and the packaging in-house, which we already do. And then that goes to a sales person that opens their mouth, which they're really not a salesperson. All right. They're just a sharing person. They share it with somebody, whether they're out to lunch and they squirt it in their beer at lunch, or whether they're just sharing it, just telling somebody about it, or putting them on a Zoom. They order it, they consume it, and when they reorder it, guess what? You get credit every time they reorder, and they can't go around you to go directly to Marketplace Global. Because to that, part of our advantage is our distribution channels. We already got them set up around the globe. All right, we're shipping into the Philippines and into Asia right now with other products. We're shipping into a lot of African countries. We're shipping into European markets. We're shipping into a lot of places around the world, Latin America. We have these channels already built. This product is only launching in the US, but we're in the process of getting a dietary supplement. Hear my words, it's a dietary supplement, not a drug, a single element. This is not a challenge to get registered as a product because it's a food. How crazy is that? To register, and it can be marketed all around the world, and you are in on the first launch. The next launch will be in other countries. When we launch our customer acquisition program, as we get product in the market, we've got what we call our Weekender Phix Pack. Yeah, and we're going to have the big game day Phix pack and the holiday Phix pack. And yeah, you can see where we're going with this. We got all kinds of other things that will have different kinds of pictures, because here's what we know: when somebody walks in a bar or a restaurant and they drop something in their adult beverage, the crowd gathers and they're going to want to know how they get it, and they scan a code and it just sends them right off into an order. And every time they reorder again, whether you never see them again or not, you get paid on that over and over and over. Some of those people say, I want to know how I can develop and build a business from this because I have a social influence and I could bring a lot of people. Great, they ought to participate. Let's show them how to do that. When they upgrade from a customer, they upgrade right into your community automatically. How crazy is that? From talking with some of the doctors, this is what they've said. This is the holy grail of fat loss. It's the holy grail. And we're bringing it in the market. It'll be very disruptive, and you could be on the front side. One of my mentors always told me, he said, procrastination is the assassination of your dreams. Many of you got big dreams. You've wanted to be in the right place at the right time and know you were there so you could do something about it. I'm just telling you, this one's going to haunt you if you say no. Come join us. God bless you guys. Thanks for tuning in.